the show, Stephen and I are going to grade the offense and defense for every single SEC team to kind of close the book on the 2022 college football season. And let's start, Stephen, in the SEC East. I just usually always go in alphabetical order here, and I'll go first. So, Florida, the offense, up and down would be an accurate assessment, but at times they looked pretty good. So I'm giving the Florida offense a B minus. What would be the grade you'd give Billy Napier, Anthony Richardson, and company their first season working together in Gainesville?
We're 1-for-1 on agreeing here. I gave them a B minus. They were 28th in the ESPN SP Plus for offense. Also, I think a little bit of credit. We've talked a little bit about this during the year. New starting quarterback, new scheme, best offensive weapons at running back were a transfer and a freshman. Your best weapon at receiver was a transfer. Best offensive lineman, a transfer. A lot of new pieces for Billy Napier, plus the scheme. You could nitpick some things, certainly, but fourth in yards per play in the SEC, fifth in SEC only in terms of scoring. I think that's a pretty solid year for Florida's offense, giving some of those challenges.
Yeah, and one of the biggest what ifs possibly in the SEC season just would have been, just imagine Anthony Richardson if he had 3-4 solid receivers that were healthy. He just never had that this season. You know what?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think it says a lot that they were able to bring in Ricky Pearsall when they did, and he ended up becoming their best receiver. They really needed a couple other guys to step up out there this year. So I've always liked watching Billy Napier's offense, and we saw this at Louisiana. I think he's pretty creative, and I think he's good at it. I think that'll be the challenge going forward, is with a new quarterback, and you still need to restock some of these weapons. Can this offense take a step forward next year, or at least match the production given all the challenges around there?
Now, say all those good things about the offense. That's because I was getting to the defense. F, Steven. I'm giving them a F. I mean, they showed up from time to time, but man, they were just dreadful by the end of the season. And I think the defense really, really held Florida back from reaching the goals that Billy Napier and company had year one. Patrick Toney, I think it's safe to say, put him on the hot seat. I mean, he may be on one of the hottest seats of any SEC coordinator going into next season. What's your grade for the Florida defense?
I'll be a little nicer. I'm going to pick D. I agree with everything you said there. The only reason why I won't give him an F is just because I think coming into this year, we knew Florida wasn't at its peak in terms of roster talent. There were questions across the board. He wasn't inheriting a vintage elite Florida defense. They gave up about 29 points a game. They had issues against the run too. So not excusing all the issues. I think some of these are personnel driven. And with the first year coach, I'm willing to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. So feel free to roast me on that one, but I'll give him a D for the defense.